The following interview was recorded live during the Technology and Curriculum Conference of Aldine. To find out more, visit their website, tccaconference.com. You're listening to radio.edutechguys.com, providing live coverage from the TCCA conference here in Aldine, Texas. And we've got a gentleman here who has occupied the hot seat. So what we'd like to do is introduce yourself and just tell us what you do, where you work, all that good stuff, and we'll kind of go from there.
That's great. I'm Tyrone Dargins. I teach television and film production at Jack Yates High School in Houston, Texas.
Awesome.
On Scott Street between University of Houston and Texas Southern University.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that is awesome.
Right down in the heart of it.
In the heart of it, right in the mix. And what we do there, we not only have a communications school, a program, is that we also have maritime, which is the maritime logistics, shipping and receiving. So that's a major part. They have simulators, provide students the additional training if they want to go into that. They receive certification for forklift and unloading and unloading of trucks.
That's awesome.
So
Wow.
They go through the whole nine. They have Sea Scouts. They were tied into the Port Authority, which provide additional funding and support for the work that we do there at Yates High School. But then we have our major organization, or the older organization, and that is the communications program. We have teachers specifically teaching photography, Mr. Ray Carrington, in which many of his students have actually been featured in the Eyes on Houston or Eyes on Third Ward at the Museum of Fine Arts.
Wow.
They have a week in the spring or so forth in which a lot of the work have been curated. They look at a selection of work, and their students' works have actually been selected and posted at Museum of Fine Arts.
Oh, that's awesome.
We actually have a television station. Of course, I run that. We do sports broadcasting. That's what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Where we shoot the games not only for our school, but also for the other schools across our district. And we also have narrative film. So, you learn the whole gamut in that area. We have print and graphics, so they're able to print out. So we go through the whole 9 yards. We have actually a radio station, a full-fledged radio station, and we do podcasting in it with Miss Brown overseeing that. So the students would get an overall real well-rounded experience in communications at our school.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah,
That's awesome.
That is phenomenal. So, and you're in the TV
Right.
video
Yes, sir.
broadcasting side of
Right
the production,
there, in the
all that
middle
kind
of
of
it.
stuff. So, talk to me a little bit about the different, for lack of a better word, the different jobs that the students can do inside their, a lot of people when they think of, TV production or video production, they're thinking either just the on-air people or people that are just running the cameras, but there's so much more involved with a video production.
Wow. Our biggest issue with the concept of media is that when we think of the workforce, we think of the coast. You're either LA, New York,
Sure.
or Canada. Our biggest problem is that in Texas, our state did not provide a tax incentive for productions to be able to come here. I know that it's a sticky situation.
Sure.
But because of that, many of the productions are going to New Orleans and
Right.
Louisiana. There's some in Baton Rouge. There's some in Shreveport.
Sure.
I'm hearing about. You got to go across the state line in order to work on a regular.
Yeah.
Although Texas UT has beefed up their programming for sports with the Texas Network and the Formula One and other Grand Prix stuff that they have over there. On the high end, it's tough.
Sure.
Because once you get locked into the news network, you have that. We have a bunch of smaller groups that do commercials, local commercials, so that they're grinding it out and trying to make it work through that means. But when we get down to media, our first jump for mad cash is photography.
Yeah.
You can get cash quick on photography, in a minute. Photos for start off in school, graduation photos.
Yeah.
Our major market would be females.
Yeah.
They want their pictures taken. So I guide my students toward that. Number one, make sure you can shoot. If you can shoot for photography for that setting, it's easy for you to do video production. Now, for video production, it's a little bit slower for kids. They tend to, I want something, I want this, I want that.
Yeah.
And we are magicians and illusionists and technicians because you got to take the different things to make that look.
Sure.
I don't care what you're using, Premiere Pro, DaVinci, or any of those.
Yeah.
You got to have lens flares. You got to have camera shake. You want a stabilizer. You want a slider. And that's what the guys are using when you look at certain videos on Vimeo or YouTube.
Right.
They're mixing that thing up.
Yeah.
And they're doing a quick cut. They're mixing to the rhythm of the song.
Sure.
And you have to know that. And I call it a hustle.
Yeah.
You got to go out there and hustle. You got to promote yourself. One thing we always encourage our students to do is to develop a portfolio.
Sure.
It can be a YouTube. It can be their own Google site. It can be anything that will showcase what are you doing.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, because that's how you're getting your job. People want to see what have you done lately.
Right.
Oh, and in class, I encourage them to shoot, record, because that's the way they do it. Almost every business wants to be seen.
Yeah.
Sure.
And they try and tell a little nephew to go out and record.
Yeah.
Them. It doesn't turn out right because they say, I want to look like, X, Y, and Z company. And, little Johnny doesn't know all the techniques that's being used.
Color correction, everything that goes into that.
And we were speaking about music, having the copyrighted music for your piece, and you got to make sure you watch out for that because you may have a commercial that's running and no audio.
Yeah.
they'll that's nice, but I can't hear you.
Right.
Yank everything right off of there.
So every company wants that, so we need they have to understand what companies need.
Right. So, and that's part of the training that you're giving to the students is the scripting and the production,
I have to slow them
techniques.
down. Because the biggest problem is that YouTube has made it horrible for video production.
Yeah.
You got jump cuts everywhere.
Yeah.
They're not trying to use any B-roll and jump it in. Yes, they did help with lighting. They do have intros, but you don't have thoughts and V-thoughts all into your production when you're trained. And people are like, SOTs and VSOTs and all that. Yeah, but that's a part of your broadcast and journalism process.
Yeah, that's the
storytelling.
You gotta learn
right.
You got to get that down.
So they're thinking, mine is gonna. No. We need to go this way.
Yeah.
Even with cell phones, I'll tell them you can actually shoot a piece on your cell phone. I do apologize. Android is not the hottest at this point for us, but the Samsung is not the hottest. We all know iPhone is great.
Sure.
You can shoot a piece with that, but you got to know what to shoot and how to shoot it.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Then the LGs are very good.
Oh yeah.
LGs and iPhones, I put them in the same class. You can shoot a piece, but you got to know what to shoot, how to shoot it. You got to have your angles. You got to have your rule of thirds. Watch your composition, foreground, middle ground, background. You got to know all of that.
Yes.
When you say, why doesn't my piece look like theirs? Because they're using that formula in order to get it done.
Yeah, because they've learned the basics of photography and filmmaking. They have. Yeah, you're right.
So when they float through photography, shooting a lot of the graduation photos, and then move into product photography, my eyes glazed over it when I was in college.
Yeah.
But then I got older. I said, "Oh my God, look how they lit that glass."
Yeah.
Putting a sheet of paper underneath the glass so when the light hit it, it reflects back through the glass, and you're like, "Okay, that's pretty cool."
Yeah.
How do you make food look good? We have so many restaurants in the city. I'm going through. I'm like, okay, we're gonna have photos of their food on the wall. You're gonna have video when they come in. You can. Oh, have you guys seen the LG wallpaper TV?
Oh, no.
Less than an inch thick, a quarter inch thick.
Wow.
You can place it up on a TV. You can actually bend the TV around a surface.
Oh wow!
Holy cow!
What do they say? 4G, whatever
4K?
it is. 4K.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Really?
That is amazing.
Really? And
amazing.
then it has an interface that goes with it. So Now, how can you now use that in the commercial environment and produce content for it?
Right. Exactly.
It is a on-time hustle, but you got to know how to use the products.
Right.
You got to keep on top of the trends.
Right. And I teach them After Effects, in which their minds just go. Poof. But I said, guys, when you go to a Walmart, you stand in the line and you're watching that little video. That's After Effects. When you're at the gas station and you're pumping gas, and as soon as they go click, your video is running. They're using After Effects to have the motion graphics for the images that are there.
Sure.
That's and they're getting paid to do that.
That's right.
Right. That's exactly right.
What company can you go to do this? In your own bedroom, in your garage. Now you can say, hey, buddy, friend, you know how to do X, Y, and Z. You can do, and now you have these companies, and that was so smart about YouTube, is that YouTube allowed individuals to team up.
Yeah.
To pull companies together and create content, and they're making a living doing this. The young cats are doing it, and it's moving up. And then they'll call in other folks from another company, and they'll join in. So I teach the YouTube content. I use the journalism content, the narrative film content.
Yeah.
And sometimes they get a little frustrated, like as they would say to me at the end of the year, Mr. Dargins, when I go to the movies and watch TV, it's not fun anymore. Yeah, I'm seeing this.
That's right.
That,
That's
right.
Say,
yes,
that's right.
You're actually where you need to be.
Yeah.
So, social media. Where can people find you if they want to follow you on Twitter?
Oh man. Y'all can beat me up now. My magnet coordinator, the radio person, they've jumped on Twitter. They Twitterize, and I don't know that one. We do have a Twitter account, but you can actually find us on YouTube at JYTV.
Okay.
And then you'll see our seal, and go into that. You'll see the productions that we post there. We also have a radio podcast site on SoundCloud, and I forgot the other one. But once you go to the JYTV, then it launches you to others.
You can get to the links.
But we're I was excited about what you guys have here, the setup, and it's very mobile. You can move around, and then I saw Aldine's little setup. Got the little cannons, and they're running that TriCaster, and now you don't even need a TriCaster. You can drop down to a vMix with a laptop, and bada bing, bada boom. You're up and rolling.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the era of production has now come down to the little man, but you got to know the technique that the big guys are actually using in order for yours to look right.
That's exactly right. Just because I give you a hammer doesn't mean you can build a house.
Oh, just look at my shed in the backyard.
Awesome, man. That is great. Well, thank you so much, man. Very good to meet you. We would like to thank our guests for joining us for this interview. If you would like to hear more EduTech Guys, check out our podcast on iTunes.